Hello, welcome to Producer's Profile. I'm Stella Winston, your host. My guest today is the very talented producer, Powell Burns. Powell Burns has a show called Hambone that comes on every Thursday, 3 p.m. and 11 p.m. on Channel 35 and Channel 68. Welcome to Producer's Profile, Powell Burns.
How you doing, Stella?
I'm all right. May I call you Powell?
Sure.
Did I get the channels correct on your show?
Channel 35, 68, every Thursday, 3 p.m., 11 p.m., The Hambone Show.
And also, I want to mention that you also co-produce a show with Jan Munchtakoff called Eat Brooklyn. And that comes on every third Saturday, 7:30, and that's Channel 68.
I guess.
Yes.
68, 35.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, now, tell us a little bit about your show. What's Hambone?
It's The Hambone Show. And it's a comedy variety show. I like to write comedy, so my show is totally scripted. It's a lot different from most of the other BCAT shows, like this one, where, you know, they're mostly interview shows, religious shows on BCAT. My show is anything but. It's I script the show from beginning to end. All my guests are phony. You know, none of them are real except for the musicians, who you know, like I'll have authors come on, and people who've never written a book, of course. And I'll have movie stars come on who have never been in front of a camera. And but I do like to have musicians. I like bands. I like music. And like last night, I was out searching Lower Williamsburg for music. We're out checking out a band last night, and so somebody's phone is ringing. That's not cool, you know. But that's okay.
But that would be like part of your show, right? You'd have something. But so you do a lot of pre-production then?
Huh?
So you do a lot of pre-production to have it totally scripted?
I do a lot of pre-production. I do some rehearsals if I can. I feel you know, because I can't pay people to be on the show, I'm a little embarrassed to ask, you know, for people to do rehearsals because it's taking up their time. But I'm come to the point where I have to get rehearsals because my shows are getting way too complicated to not rehearse. So you know, so there you go. There's a lot of pre-production.
So how do you get an idea for one of your shows? Does it come up in a dream?
How do I get an idea? Okay, I'll give you an example. My next show, a show that I'm scheduling for May. I'm shooting the show in May, which for you folks is about a month and a half away from now. I got an email from a club in Williamsburg called Galapagos, and I get their newsletter every month. You know, it's the schedule. What's going on at Galapagos? They have a lot of film things and music, and one of the little tiny blurb was about these three women named the Patani sisters. All right, they said, you know, check them out. And what caught my eye is that they said that their act harkens back to the Cotton Club. Okay, I grew up in Harlem, so I know the Cotton Club. My mother used to hang out there. So I went, and they had a website. The Patani sisters had a website.
Now, the Cotton Club, for the people that don't know much about the Cotton Club, it's in Harlem. And what went on at the Cotton Club?
Well, I don't want to turn this into a Cotton Club show, but the Cotton Club was a club that was that showcased black talent to a white audience. Okay, black folks were not allowed in the Cotton Club, and black talent played at the Cotton Club. If you were female, you had to be light-skinned. You know, like you would have been okay. My grandmother would have been thrown out.
The brown paper bag test, right?
Right.
Okay.
You know.
So this act that you saw in that newsletter, it characterized itself as
being harkening back to that era, in that they were, you know, with the costumes and the type of music and stuff like that. So that interested me. They had a website. I went to their website, and when I saw their picture, instantly I got an idea for a show. And that show I'm going to shoot in May. And I saw them last night, and they're down for it.
Oh, so they'll actually be on your show.
They're going to be on the show, yeah.
And they will play themselves. So.
They're going to play themselves, and it's going to be a good show.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what else?
Well, that's interesting how you got the idea for the show. So now you'll sit down and you'll script everything.
I'll script everything. I love writing. I really like writing a lot. You know, I've written several scripts that haven't filmed yet. Don't know if I am going to film. I filmed things that I've never shown.
So when you write a script, do you expect the actors and actresses to stick exactly to the script, or do you allow them to improvise?
Sometimes I allow them to improvise, only because I'm not forcing people to rehearse, and I'm just happy that people show up at my shoots, so I can't force them to to stick to the script.
Now, you have a B-roll that you have.
I do a lot of phony commercials. My show is set up, most of my shows are set up as a talk show type show, as in Jay Leno or David Letterman type show. I have a desk, I have guests come on, I have a band, I have an announcer. And this B-roll we're going to see some commercials from my show. We're also going to see an end segment from my show and I like dancing. I love to dance. I dance at the beginning of my show, I dance at the end of my shows. So we're going to see an end dance, and then we're going to cut to 2 commercials. One called Toe Man's Mayonnaise is the first commercial we'll see, and the second commercial we'll see is The Power of Cheese.
Okay, well, let's go to the B-roll.
Let's go to the B-roll. That's me wearing my banana shorts. I always wear red shoes on my show. Toe Man's real mayonnaise makes anything taste good. And now this is The Power of Cheese. That's not The Power of Cheese.
Okay.
I don't know why they keep doing that. There we go. Too bad we couldn't see.
I do hope you've taken your lactose intolerance medication. Behold the power of cheese.
Okay.
Now you guys can hold off for a second. That one young lady, by the way, was a young lady who is a professional actress named Carrie Barber. She's one of my neighbors. I live in a great building, converted factory in Carroll Gardens, and there's a lot of artists, a lot of photographers, blah, 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 in the building, and she lives there. And I've seen her in plays in Manhattan and stuff, so she's very good.
Yeah, well, that was very funny. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. I have another clip coming up here. I wanted them to stop it because I wanted to set this up. About a couple of years ago, before I have 2 sons. So I have a 1.5-year-old and a 6-year-old. Before my latest child was born, me, my wife, and my son, we drove to Washington, D.C. We love to go to D.C. Go to D.C. often. And while we were driving down there, my wife, I'm trying to tell her how to drive. I'm telling her how to drive because I was tired. I wasn't driving. She was driving. I'm telling her how to drive. And she was like getting upset with me.
I would be too.
So I filmed this little piece while we were driving. So hit it, Jan.
Go to the videotape. The joke was blown.
I'm not going to explain the joke.
So you're not going to explain the joke.
No.
Oh, too bad.
Never explain. If you got to explain humor, it's gone. It's gone.
Okay, so maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Okay. Now,
the next thing is I want to show these commercials. I want to talk about my artwork, but we don't have time on that.
So what are these commercials that we're going to see?
Well, the next one is Annoy Me Not, which is done with my two cousins, Angela and her sister, Adia. Annoy Me Not capsules. It's a pharmaceutical commercial. So
we're gonna
hit it, Jan, from the black.
Hey Dee, what's up with your hair? I wanted the wieners grilled, not boiled.
My older sister is so annoying.
Hey Dee, when are you cleaning my car?
She doesn't annoy me sometimes. She annoys me all the time.
And you better not tell Mom or I'll mop up the floor with you.
For years, I couldn't do anything about it until now. Now there are Annoy Me Not capsules. Annoy Me Not capsules are specially formulated from organic herbs and one really powerful man-made depressant. Annoy Me Not stops your sister from annoying you. And Annoy Me Not capsules work pretty darn fast.
Hey, what's that? Give me that. Dee, are you having a nice day?
Annoy Me Not is available in cherry, orange, and kiwi flavors.
Would you, like a glass of juice?
Thank you. Annoy Me Not capsules for the sister we all want.
Okay, that was Dia and Angela. The next thing up is I do promos for my show. I like doing promos, and this is my favorite promo. This is, I think, one of my best things I've ever filmed.
Now, when you say a promo,
Meaning a commercial for my own show.
so you play it during your show.
I played during my show. I made it actually to run the folks who are in power here at Beercat. I was told that they wanted to start running commercials for shows. So I produced some commercials. I've never seen them run.
Okay, so let's see.
I don't know if they've ever run any of my commercials that I handed in, but this is one of them. So I run it on my own show. And let's play that, and then we're going to play a commercial directly after it. Don't stop it. Just let it play through.
Okay.
Let it play through to the end, to Dr. Lichtenstein.
Doctor.
Yeah, so we're going to see Dumbo. We're going to see a commercial for Fee-Cal chocolate-flavored yogurt.
For years, I was a junkie. I shot heroin. I did cocaine. I smoked crack. I stole. My life was in shambles. And then I found the Hambone Show. It changed my life, and it can change yours too. Every Thursday night at 3 and 11 p.m., channels 35 and 68. Watch the Hambone Show. Not for me, but for yourself. I'm an active person. I exercise, I watch my diet, but I love chocolate. I dream about chocolate, I live for chocolate. I love this stuff, but I hate what it does to my silky thighs. Luckily, there's Fee-Cal chocolate-flavored low-calorie yogurt. Fee-Cal is delicious. It has a rich, chocolatey flavor that is different. It's somehow familiar. Everybody loves Fee-Cal. Women love Fee-Cal's great taste. Men love Fee-Cal because, well, men are just that way. Fee-Cal has it all. Taste, texture, and low calories. Don't forget, girlfriends, guys really dig Fee-Cal. So remember, original Fee-Cal and new Fee-Cal with corn.
all this and scripted it and shot it. Like the actresses that are on there, I noticed that you use the same actresses a few times over and over.
Only because I can't get anybody else. Well, you know, because again, I can't pay people. So, you know, if I get somebody who's willing to work on a show for no pay, you know, maybe just a meal, then I feel very, very fortunate.
And I also noticed that the, for instance, the vitamins, it looked custom made. It looked like a real vitamin.
Well, Stella, young lady, I am a designer. That's what I do. I'm a designer. I'm an artist. I'm an illustrator. That's what I do for a living.
And are these examples of what you've done?
These are examples of some of my work. I do a lot of product design. Right now, my 9-to-5 job is I design watches. I don't know if you can see that at all. Like, do a lot of licensed products. I design watches for children. Okay, and on Star Wars watches, Godzilla, as you see there. I'm doing now the new.
So when you say you design them, you do the art. Like, for instance, on this one, there's Godzilla inside.
I didn't do that drawing. No. What happens is with licensed products, the licensor, the person who owns the license, like in that case, I guess it's 20th Century Fox, they will provide us with artwork. Then I have to take their artwork and design stuff using their artwork, using their guidelines. And so, like the logo would be theirs, but I'd have to like put it there. I'd have to specify that I want it printed in rubber and all the other junk, you know.
Okay.
Like
so you put it all together and you make it look
I put it all
nice.
together, including the package.
Including the
package. Including the package. Same thing with Star Wars. I do a lot. I love packaging design. This is something I did for Nestle's in Europe. I do a ton of work for Disney. Do a lot of work for Disney. And as a matter of fact, I didn't see this in the stores. I got this sample because I didn't see it in stores until I got to England. I was in England. And I was in a duty-free shop in the airport. And I saw it being sold, and I was like, "Oh, there's my thing."
There's your work.
So I still get a kick to this day.
So you'll get the
when I see my stuff
you'll
being
get
sold.
the globe.
No, actually, this is different. All the artwork we did. I say we because this was a collaborative piece at a design firm that I worked at the time, called Kick Design, great little design firm. So like we had what's called a certified Disney artist do the Disney characters, but I did his hands because the guy couldn't draw hands very well. So I'm very good at drawing hands. So I drew his hands, and I took the artwork. All of this is mine. The thing is basically mine.
So
the design is mine.
So did you come up with the shape of the box?
Yeah, came up with the
also?
concept, the drawing, and stuff like that. The Barbie. This is a Barbie camera, disposable camera. Like Barbie, Mattel provided us with the photograph of Barbie's logo, and the Baywatch logo. I did everything else. I did all the little tchotchkes down here, designed the package. There's stickers in the back. There are drawings in the back that I did all of those, and I wrote it. I wrote everything.
So you came up with the stickers.
Right, and I wrote everything.
See.
You know, so all of these little instructional.
So you designed the way it looked and all the now.
Everything.
What type of software did you use for this? This Illustrator?
I used Illustrator. This was done completely in Illustrator. Completely in Adobe Illustrator, my favorite program. I love that program.
Why is that favorite over After Effects?
Because, well, After Effects is a different type of thing. Right. After Effects is a video program. That's for video. This is for print, for print stuff. Though, like my logo, which you saw in that piece, was also done in Illustrator. That's so Illustrator, I would use as part of my video, as part of my video toolbox.
Right, so you use Illustrator to put into your video. What about Photoshop? It was Photoshop?
No, Photoshop was not used at all on that piece. Photoshop was used on this. I used Photoshop to make this thing here. But almost everything else here is, including this. This is an invitation to my son's 5th year birthday party. And this was all Illustrator. All Illustrator. I don't know if you guys are getting this.
It looks very crisp. It looks better than a photograph.
Oh, thank you. Right. This is a drawing I did of Spike Lee. When Spike Lee had, he just opened up his store over here on DeKalb or whatever street that was. They played around with the idea of doing a caricature of him on the hang tags. So I was hired to do a caricature of him. They didn't use it, but I got paid. Okay. So yeah.
All right. Okay, we're running out of time, so let's quickly go through.
Okay. Here's another drawing of some women. I took this photograph near my job, and I did this drawing of some Spanish girls. Here's Angela. This is my cousin Angela that I used for a, when I used to do, when I first started doing my show, I did the credits, I would have drawings of the person who was in the group, but that got to be a lot of work. You know, to always have a new drawing for a new person on the show, so I stopped doing that. But this was part of that. I did a drawing of
So
Angela.
you draw it and then bring it into Illustrator and...
I would draw it in Illustrator.
Okay.
This is a piece that's done in Illustrator and Photoshop. This is a piece from Mickey Mouse. This was sold in the stores, not in the stores, in the parks, in their gallery, in the Mickey Mouse gallery. This actually, the real piece is like this big. This is actually the only piece of artwork in my house that I have hanging up that I created. And I don't, you know, that's a whole nother show.
Okay.
Talk about how I really don't like the stuff I do.
Really?
That's my own cross to bear. This is something I did for Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus. This was a T-shirt. Okay. I got some more junk. I designed cameras, tons of cameras, tons of product, fashion design. Sabustier did the logo. Here's another illustration of some. I love drawing Spanish women. What can I tell you? You know, this was there's a professional basketball team in Brooklyn called the Brooklyn Kings, a minor league team, and I redesigned their logo and their uniform. And this is one of the preliminary. This actually is the final logo done on different grounds. Okay. This was a logo I did for a young lady who is a BCAP producer. This is for her production company. This is a drawing. Jan especially likes this. My partner Jan. I have a partner named Jan Muchnikov. And he especially likes this. This is a box. I do a lot of gift boxes for watches. So I designed this watch, and then we did this gift box. I wish I had a gift box here. But anyway, I took off from work today, and I meant to bring it today, but I took it off. So this is an actual box with a lid and everything, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, well, thank you for coming, for being on Producer's Profile.
Right. Sorry for yelling so much.
That's okay.
Sorry for yelling so much, you guys. But I'm like that.
It was very interesting, and you're very talented, multi-talented.
Thank you. Did I pick my nose at all?
No, you didn't at all.
Good. I'm so glad. I promised my wife I would not pick my nose.
Okay, no, you can report to her that you did not.
Good. I'm so glad.
Okay, so this is what Jan likes. What is Jan like this?
Jan likes that because Jan likes girly things. You know, it's nice and pink and has little flowers on it. He likes that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
You know? So and this is, again, a logo for a young lady who works here at BCAT. She's a BCAT producer. Beautiful woman, and that is a drawing of her.
Now, so you drew this by hand. You bring it in, you scan it.
I scanned the drawing, the sketch. I scanned the sketch. I did a rough sketch of the logo in pencil. Everything you see here started out as a pencil drawing. Every single thing that's here, even the watches, these high-tech holographic watches, start out as a stupid little sketch and a stupid little drawing pad.
Now, getting back to your show, do you do storyboards? Do you sketch?
I sometimes do, especially with some of these commercials. I have to do storyboards. The show I'm going to do in May is going to be an extensive storyboard. I have to, because pre-production, you need to know. I mean, when you're in production, you need to know what you're going to shoot. You don't want to make those decisions then. The decisions on what you're going to be shooting should have been made a month ago, whatever. Even if it was the day before, those decisions should be made. You
shouldn't.
Math, a four-letter word, right? Hey, you don't need that. Why design the world's newest chips? When you could be flipping the world's oldest burgers. Hey, wait a minute. This is math. Geometry, algebra. No pocket protectors here. But you're cruising without math. Yeah, right. Take a good look. That's math staring back at you. It's not a problem, man. It's an answer. Call NACME. We'll tell you what you need to do.
Who are you?
See more smoke. Smoke detector. And I see more smoke coming from that toaster.
Thanks for warning us, Seymour.
I hate smoke. So whenever I see it, I make this noise to warn you. Because where there's smoke, there may be fire.
Be cool about fire safety.
Be cool.